This is verse 22, 16th chapter, Gospel of John. Jesus continues to give his disciples some understanding that they're going to be going through some short-term grief that will be followed by long-term joy, and he's been driving that point home, likening it to the experience of a woman giving birth, who of course goes through a certain degree of grief in anticipation of that moment, but of course after the birth the joy of a newborn infant immediately eclipses the sense of grief that was associated with the birth, and now he's more or less saying the same thing in connection with their present situation. So he says kai, the connective, and humes, added here for emphasis, and you, this is the second person pronoun, the nominative plurals, and you, un, postpositive, therefore, none, indeclinable adverb, means now, and you, therefore, now, men, which is normally coupled with de, as we find it there. The English equivalent is on the one hand and on the other, but obviously in Greek it's a much more efficient way of making a kind of distinction between two different propositions. So you now on the one hand, lupain, word we've seen before, means sorrow or grief. It's in the accusative, and it is the object of the verb ekete, from echo I have, second person plural, present active indicative. So you, therefore, now, on the one hand, have grief. This is where you are at the moment, and it's only getting worse. Jesus can see it in their facial expression, I suppose, as they are digesting the statement he made that he is going to be going away from them. Paulen, indeclinable adverb, again, and then the de, which goes with the men. So on the other hand, again, on the other hand, opsomai. This is from opsomai. It's the deponent future of harao or blepo, either one. And it's the first person singular future active indicative, so it's deponent in form, and yet I will see you. Earlier he's used epsita, which would be the idea of they will see him. Commentators generally believe that the fact that Jesus shifts now to I will see you is a way of saying I will see you from here on in, that you're never really going to be out of my sight is the idea, and of course it becomes a bit of an assurance to them that Christ will always be with them. So, but now, again, on the other hand, I will see humas, you, the second person, accusative plural pronoun. Kai, and then kaireseta. This is from kairo, it means rejoice, I rejoice. This is the future, middle indicative, so third person singular, future, middle indicative, and the middle here is suggesting a kind of reflexive joy, that is, a joy within the confines of the subject of it, which happens to be he, cardia, the heart, the possessive pronoun up front to give it a little additional emphasis, and really in parallel then with humes back here. And so it will rejoice of you, the heart. So just as there's going to be sorrow at the moment, soon enough there's going to be the rejoicing of your heart. Notice that heart is singular, but the pronoun here is plural, so the heart of you all is the idea, as if they have a kind of common sense of the heart that's going to be rejoicing. Kai, the connective, tain, karan. Kara, joy, this is in the accusative feminine article with kara, and the joy, humon, of you, the genitive, plural, of the second person pronoun, the joy of you. Udes, from is an adjective, here used substantively, the masculine, singular nominative, no one. Ere, from iro, I take away, this is ire, third person singular, present active indicative, and no one takes away off, from apo. Preposition means from, takes the genitive as we have it here, the genitive plural of the second person pronoun, no one takes away from you. So your heart is going to rejoice, and the joy is going to be a joy that will be with you from that point on. There's no one that's going to be able to take it away from you. No threat is going to cause it to disappear. And of course, this is a great promise that belongs not only to the disciples, but to every person who has found their peace and joy in Christ.